this girl, I need to go for her. That's lost full foundation for marriage.
Can you expound the place of communication in marriage?
Oh, yes.
It's like communication is a major problem in marriages.
Communication is a big deal.
And also misconception.
Yes.
And misinformation, communication and misconception. Can you expand on this?
Excellent. You see, communication is the engine of marriage. It's the live wire. It's what makes marriage work. In fact, not just marriage, any relationship. Communication. See, communication, of course, is beyond verbal, right? As a matter of fact, communication is even, there's a distribution of non-verbal, right? Verbal communication is the lowest form of communication because there's non-verbal, which has to do with your body language, right? Your moods, all of that is part of communication.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then so what you say is just the smallest part, because you could say good morning, but you're saying good morning with a mood that says I will deal with you.
I rebuke you.
Do you understand? So what you said is good morning, but what you communicated is not good morning. It's I'm going to deal with you. I'm very angry with you.
You're very correct.
You understand? So communication is very key. Now, what people need to understand about communication is that there are different aspects to it. What was intended to be said, the message that was intended to be passed, then what was actually said, and then what was received.
Yeah.
They are completely different things. If you are not able to take charge of your emotions, right, you will be intending to communicate how your partner hurt you, but what you will communicate will be hurt itself.
That's right.
To your partner. What your partner will receive is not that their action hurt you, but what they will receive is that you are attacking them. So let me give a classical example on something that may just be trivial. Your wife wants you to branch by the local store to buy some groceries on your way home. And then she was calling you, but for some reason you didn't pick. You didn't see the call. Your phone was silent. You were in a radio show and your phone was silent, and you forgot to put it back on ringtone. So you got into the house and she was waiting on these groceries to prepare food. Now you get in and she's like, "Hey, so did you get the tomato and stuff?" And I'm like, "Which tomato?" "Ha! Oh, this is my problem with you. Somebody will be calling you. You will not even pick up your phone. You will not even pick up your phone. Now somebody has to start going back to the junction." What she's communicating now is not what she intended to communicate. Right? Because what she simply wanted was to say, "Oh, I wish you had seen your call so that you'd have helped us to get this. But since you didn't pick up, now we still have to go back to get it or have to improvise and do something else." That's what she's trying to say. But because the emotion is already stirred and hurt, what she's now going to communicate would look like an attack to you, to your person.
You distress me.
You're just stressing me. You don't hear things like, that's your problem. You don't pick up your call. You don't have it silence. You that is receiving that, what is that going to do to you? Is triggering what I call auto response.
An accumulation of other things that have been on ground.
Exactly. So before you know it, you say things like, "Is there even hard to welcome somebody that comes home? Do you know what I've gone through? After you just shout, I have to talk to somebody," and then you angrily storm.
No respect, no regard.
You see? So, but what happened there is a communication breakdown. What was intended to be communicated is not what was communicated. Hence, what was received is not what was meant to be received. And then what was the result? The receiver also returned the same fire. So at the end of the day, people are having a breakdown over things that should not really have caused the breakdown. That's just a light example, right? There are endless examples. So the point about communication is people need to understand. It's not just about what you say. People need to hear this point. It's not just about what you say. It's about how you say it and when you say it. All right? And if you're saying something and your partner is clearly not in understanding or behaving like you want them to behave, if they understand what you're saying, then it means that your message has not gotten through to them.
Very correct.
It may be a fault of yours or a fault of theirs. Maybe they are not even listening properly, right? Maybe you are not communicating properly. Maybe the how you are communicating is not proper. Maybe the when is not the right time, right? All right. So you want to look into all of these things and ask yourself, how can I do better, right? Because the goal here is friendship and peace. It's not quarrel.
Friendship, harmony.
Yes. The goal is not quarrel.
Yes.
You see, so if people don't take time to learn communication, there will consistently be issues where there ought not be issues. And there are many other things that affect communication. Your sense of personal security can affect how you process what your partner is saying. Your self-esteem, your self-concept. All right? Your partner says something that was supposed to be a joke and you are very angry.
But I was just joking, Alayo.
No, for you,
insulted
no. This is an insult. What kind of joke is that? Right? Now, it may truly have been a joke to your partner, but it was offensive to you. All right? And then that partner perhaps should have also known that this is the kind of spouse I have. You don't joke with this kind of thing, so don't even go there.
Yes.
Right? But the point is there's a breakdown. It's not clear. Right? So communication is very, very key. But the Bible gives us how to communicate. It says, let our words be full, be seasoned with salt, full of grace, so that we communicate grace to the hearers. In this case, to your partner. All right? So we must be intentional about how our choice of words, our choice of tone, our choice of mood when we are relating with our spouses. The truth is, all of these things sound like nice talk. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Because we all go through it.
Oh, yes. It's not an easy thing. But you see, that is why marriage, like I said at the beginning, when you start learning about marriage, the first thing you discover is that it is working on you. It's working on your lapses. It's working on your weaknesses. It's exposing yourself to you. It's exposing your weaknesses to you. It's exposing areas where you need to do better. It's exposing areas of your shortcoming. And then it's also letting you know that if you continue like this, there might be problems. Why? Because while you have your own weaknesses, you also need to know that your spouse have their own weaknesses.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So if both of you think you can continue just being yourself, I hear people say that a lot. That's how I am. That's how I am. That's how you married me. You know what you married? Hey, listen, you have to be willing to become better.
I want my space.
See, you have to be willing to sacrifice.
True.
To make adjustments, not to remain how I am. No, that's not the goal of marriage.
Of course.
Both of you have to become like Christ, not remain how you are. Do you understand? And it's in the becoming like Christ. That is where the miracle of your transformation is happening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there'll be misunderstanding, but now you'll be able to handle it properly.
Yes.
Very soon you get to the point where you are able to avoid some kind of misunderstanding. Why? Because you have learned the kind of things that will cause it, and you've built emotional strength and spiritual strength to know that I should not go there.
Yes.
Why? Because I love my partner. I don't want to cause them pain.
That's right.
And then you'll be able to avoid some of those things. And then when other things still happen, because your heart is wired towards peace and reconciliation, right? What will be top of your mind is how to make it work, how to make it better.
How to make it better. Two of you should come together.
Yes, that will be your focus, not how to be right.
Yes, but when one spouse is trying to reconcile, like, we've said it before, and the other one is saying, that's a problem.
It's frustrating.
And keep bringing history.
Oh, yes.
Of events, part of what happened. That's the same thing you did the other time.
See, let me tell you, a lot of people need help and they don't know. A lot of people need therapy and they don't know. Whether it's word therapy or actual psychological therapy, a lot of people need help and they don't know. Why am I saying that? Because environment experiences cause a lot of pain to people from childhood.
Yeah, it does.
And it shapes you in a kind of way.
They don't know that.
They don't know that.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, if we're talking about the psychosocial development of the human, you discover that from infancy, a little baby, from the experiences of the caregivers around them, a little child is already asking themselves, can I trust this world or can I not? Is this a good place to be born into or not?
That's right.
Their self-concept, their self-esteem, their confidence is already being shaped by the experiences they have around them from childhood.
Yes.
All right? So how that is handled all the way in their life to adulthood determines the kind of relationships, social relationships that they're going to have, even professional relationships. All right? And then what makes it worse is that at no point were they even deliberately learning about how to be a better human. But you see, you're learning sciences in school, you're learning literature, you're learning arts, you're learning career. All right, you're taking courses to be better at your career, but at no point are you intentionally taking courses to be a better human in your communication, in your emotional regulation, or what we call emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? At no point are you learning how to communicate, How that you have identified that you are hot-tempered and you are learning how to now control your emotions.
I was about saying that.
You see,
I just remembered something now. I wish can we push for a bill for there to be marriage a course on marriage in schools?
Sincerely, that would be a very good one.
It just occurred to me now.
Yes. People need to start learning. As a matter of fact, what I recommend is from teenage, from young adulthood, right? That's where it starts, from teenage. As a child is growing in their self-awareness and their identity and asking themselves the question of what will I become, right? They need to start learning about marriage from then, even before they have girlfriend.
Because most homes are dysfunctional homes. Most homes have issues.
Oh yes.
So, and that's the first place of call where they learn marriage.
That's right.
Where they learn how to live as husband and wife. And I cannot be in the house when my father is slapping my mother. And that's what I'm learning. When my father shouts at my mother.
Yeah.
When my mom slaps my dad.
Okay.
When my dad is smoking and drinking and brings women to the house. One of my friends was telling me that the first time she saw a man and a woman making love was from the dad, and not with the mom, but from
somebody
another
else.
woman. But on top of their matrimonial bed, she saw her dad making out.
Yeah.
She like,
it does something to that child's mind. Unfortunately, it destroys them. It sows wrong seeds in their heart. Some people, by the selection of grace, are able to say, you know what, I saw this bad thing, but I don't want it in my home.
Yeah.
I will do everything possible to make sure I don't reproduce this, right? But there are some who see it and believe that this is the way of life. This is the way to go. This is normal.
I was listening to Pastor Poju yesterday, So he was saying about that before you marry a person, that okay, he gave an instance, a story that in your own family, once you come, okay, daddy, I want to marry this man, or I want to marry this woman, or mostly women coming that they want to marry this man, that they send some delegates to the homeland of those people to go and investigate.
That's
them.
right.
And they come and they analyze these are the lifestyle of this family, and this how they live their life. Okay, are you ready? So family will say, no, you cannot marry from that family because this is how they live their life. We don't want such. Now, I'm going somewhere. Now, and like some brothers will be in church, they hear the word of God, they hear the pastors preaching, they hear, in fact, they are believers. Some of them pastors, they speak in tongues, but back home they have some terrible character deficiencies. So now my question is, while he was saying it, I was like, Pastor, do you mean that, are you trying to say that if I have a father who was not responsible to my mom growing up, and I am now in church hearing your words, preaching about marriage, preaching about life, and so are you saying that the words you're preaching will not transform or change me? So what you're saying, it kind of contradicts what you're preaching, because so my background is more stronger, of course, it kind of stronger than what you're preaching. So that means if I'm in church and I'm hearing this word and I want to marry somebody in church, and investigation was done on me to marry a particular girl, so will you say because my family have this lifestyle, you deprive me of getting married to this girl? I don't even understand.
I get what you're saying. So it's not really right. Scripture says that there is no Jew, there is no Greek, right? We are now one in Christ. That's why it's important if you are marrying from the family of faith, right? A lot of homes are still very cultural in that approach, but I think that for believers, we should look more at this person being a believer. If they are a believer, you are now from the same family. That's the truth. The Bible says, henceforth we know no man after the flesh. We are now from the same family. So what they should pay attention to is the character of that person. The prospects, are their values aligned? Are they compatible? Do they look like they can make this thing work? And not just the fact that there are cultural limitations. All right? But in the case where they insist that they're not willing to bend on those cultural limitations, then again, you don't want to force people out of their will.
All right, family, friends, and loved ones. I want to leave the phone lines open. It's been a long conversation, over an hour now, and maybe you're confused about what we're talking about, and you're worried. Your home, it's really having serious issues, and you want counsel. You want to get clarity or some thoughts. Your husband is really maltreating you, and your children are behaving so wayward because of the lifestyle of your wife. You want to call 0808 7041217. That is the studio line to call right now. Let's speak with Coach Meze, and he will counsel, talk to you, and we can provide solution. You never can tell. One or two can't tell. We just be the solution that you have been battling with for years. 0808 704 1217. That is the studio number to call right now. Or you can send a WhatsApp message to 090 161 50614. That is a WhatsApp that you can send your message to 090 161 50614. That is our WhatsApp order to send your WhatsApp message to, and I'm going to respond to your messages. 090 161 50614, or you can call 080 704 1217. Divorce, separation, marriage, these are the issues that we are facing in our time. A lot of homes are breaking, a lot of homes are falling apart, a lot of children are confused. They don't know how to go about life because of how their parents have channeled their own lives, and a lot of people, nations are having issues because of family. Family is very key. Family is very important. Family should be made priority. Just a little slight music. We'll talk about family and ministry, which is more priority, which is more important. This ministry break. Okay, we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, brother. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, sir.
What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Okenwa.
Okenwa?
Okenwa. Okay. I'm calling from Nyanyai.
Okay, go ahead, Okenwa.
In short, I truly enjoy what people say.
Thank you.
Because this particular thing that you just talked about now is one thing that is disturbing my elder brother too.
Oh, wow. What exactly? What exactly?
The woman used to say that she's tired of marrying my brother. My brother will come out and say that he's tired of marrying the woman that is the wife. We don't even know where to start to settle. You will settle the woman. The man will say, in short, before you even come up from there, I'm not sure that I will marry this man again. And they have already have 5 kids.
Wow.
Honestly. At times I used to think, I don't know whether which one am I learning from this.
Are you married? Okay, are you married?
I'm married. And I'm not having issue with my family. At times I used to going to be the one to learn from me, or should I be the one to learn from you?
It's a highly individualistic thing. Yeah. One person, how people respond to things are completely different. So you could be born into the same family, but acquire different approaches and meanings and interpretations of life and to life, right? Responses to life.
Sure.
So that's what's happening here. Yeah. His brothers might not be working, right? And his is working. Okay. And these are the kind of things that make people say statements like, there's no formula for marriage, just do your own, or what you see working for you. Let me even speak to that very quickly. There is nothing worthwhile in this world that has succeeded by chance or just by luck. So when people say that there's no formula to marriage, they're getting something fundamentally wrong. There are principles to human behavior. There are principles of human relationship.
Yeah.
All right? And that is what marriage is all about. So there are ways to succeed and there are ways to fail. All right? So the fact is that human beings are different. Like they say, no two human beings are the same.
True.
But the principles of communication, the principles of understanding, the principles of tolerance, the principles of service, the principles of putting the other person ahead of yourself, right, are common to every human being. And those are the things that make for marriage to work. So if you have learned those principles, like I read earlier in Proverbs 24 verse 3, by wisdom the house is built. By understanding it is established. By knowledge its rooms are decorated. Right? If you take your time to invest in the right learning, and your partner is taking their time to invest in the right learning, and both of you are believers, all right, and you are aspiring, trying, growing every day to become more like Christ, you will be able to solve your problem.